welcome. Squeak, squeak, squeak goes my chair. Welcome to Debz Cooper, Global Stressologist, here today to make sure we've got this all going, to talk about why you're losing focus on your goals and how to get back up and running. Because there's nothing worse than actually acknowledging that you're losing focus, but also how to get that movement again. So I would love to know if you're here live or if you're here watching a replay. That would be fabulous for me, and where you are in the world, because I don't understand the statistics. But it's good to know that there's people out there on the other side of the world watching. So welcome to my video about why you're losing focus on your goals and how to move again. This is so common. This is so common. And I think acknowledging that it's really common allows you to go, oh, really? And the moment you start talking to people and saying things, then we know that, oh my gosh, Trent, hey. Now, I know you're on the other side of the world somewhere. I know you're not where you were. So welcome. Thank you. But let me talk about, we know it's the last quarter of the year. And when my team were talking about this, we're talking about the last quarter of the year and we're talking about goals. And I was like, uh-oh, goals can be thought. Because knowing whether you set goals, whether you've actually achieved them, whether you actually put them down there. Hi, Sharon. Oh, you're in Dallas. Okay, all right. Whether you've achieved them or not, or even if you actually put them on your list, because that goals word is already in its own a very heavy word. And when I think about goals, instantly for me, I just go, oh, failure pops in. Now, there is no specific goal attached to that, but I find goals and failure is a word that often goes hand in hand with each other. And failure is a word that hits big relating to why you're losing focus. And when we talk about failure, we talk about beating ourselves up. And this is clearly one that is quite big for you and for others around. So actually, when I think about that, even that, I remember people going, oh, remember Christmas is coming up soon and New Year's and all this, and the pandemic that we're not talking about, the pandemic, will we ever get over this, or will we ever get out of here, or will this ever change, or blah, 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 blah. It's this stuff that can throw us off track, because knowing right now we are in the end of September, and Christmas is not far away. New Year's not far away. Going back to when the pandemic first hit, February 2020, if we're holding on to that date, February's not far away. It's pretty darn freaky that things are moving so fast around us, but sometimes we are not on that train. So when we think about that word failure, it's a word that shows more what you haven't done. More of what you haven't done over what you have achieved. And when we focus on what we haven't done, we know ourselves, our internal and physical, and everything goes downhill, because it's a word that can take us onto a spiral. And there's a big difference in our mindset when we focus on our flowers over our weeds. And if we talk about what we haven't achieved being our weeds, and flowers of what we've planted, and they're nourishing and they're blooming and they're looking amazing, we do tend to focus on the weeds and not the flowers. But there's a big difference in our mind when we just go, oh, look what I've planted there, or look what I've done there, and the flowers, and that's over not seeing the weeds. Because you all know that, you know the old saying, what you resist persists. What you run from catches you. And there's so many others. You actually can't hide from anything. So it's wiser to fess up, start, and get moving. So number one is, grab your pen and paper, is why you're losing focus. And when we talk about this, we go, why are you losing focus? Why? What's going on? So I can tell you exactly what's going on for you personally, even though I don't know you. It's called life. That's it. If we were to sum everything up, life. Life has gone on. You've made friends, you've lost friends. You've made money, you've lost money. You've moved, you haven't moved. Lots goes on. You can label life whatever. You've had a cold, you haven't had a cold. people around you have had this, whatever it is, life. And if you label it life, it allows you to go, oh, okay, life. We're just labeling it life. And it is just a label. I talk about our PEMS. And our PEMS is our physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. And your physical is, well, clearly your physical. And your emotional, what's going on, your mental and your spiritual. Now, they're the 4 pillars. If you do not have the 4 pillars strong, life can get in the way. And what happens when life gets in the way? Focus. You lose focus and you go onto this tangent and you do this and you do that. So be aware of those PEMS. They are great PEMS to be aware of, just to go, oh, okay, so I've had lack of sleep today, so I'm a little bit tired. So I look tired, I feel a little bit heavier. Okay, maybe I'm going to go to bed a little bit earlier tonight. Maybe I'm going to do whatever it is. So it's just about acknowledging it and labeling it, if you want to label it something, and going, okay, that's what it is. And then you can move on. So when we think about this, it can be anything really, life. And your why, when we talk about why am I losing focus, why am I losing focus, why am I losing focus, why is a never-ending story that gets repeated over and over and over and over and over. I guarantee you said over then when I was doing that. Because your brain can tell you one thing today, and something else can happen tomorrow, depending on your PEMS, depending on your life. So when you get into that why situation, it's like a hamster on the wheel. You're going round and round and round. You're not going to get an end result. Why did they do this to me? Today might be different to why did they do this to me tomorrow when you're looking at it, and a week down the track. It could be any of these things. So that why is a never-ending story and repeat pattern that you're just going to keep going on and on and on with. So once we know, yep, okay, why? Let's talk about that, why. Then the next thing you're going to go is cut yourself some slack. And that's the nicest way I could put it. Give yourself a break. People say, try not to say give yourself a break, because I often think I'm going to break a bone in my body when I say that. But cut yourself some slack. Whatever you want to label it. As in, okay, today I've had lack of sleep. I'm not going to get everything done. I'm going to cut myself some slack. Whatever you want to label it, just give yourself that breather, that rest, that pause, whatever it is. Be okay with that. Be okay with being tired and sitting on the couch. Being tired and actually getting to school early and having a 10-minute kip in the car before you pick your children up. Whatever it is that you must do to carry on. So cut yourself some slack. Be okay with what's happening around you. The next one I'm going to suggest is lighting. And I'm not talking about the lighting of the lights. I'm talking about what lights you up. Lighting, as in what lights and reignites your energy, your inspiration, what really glows inside of you. So what are those things that light you up, and you're going to do more of that. So whether it's a candle, I have my little favorite candles, and often I actually don't even light my candles. I just take the lid off, and there's a nice little smell that sits in that candle. So what is it that lights you up? Is it perfume? Is it going for a shower? Is it eating something scrummy? Drinking out of a nice mug? Whatever it is, talking to a friend, but don't get yourself too involved with that friend. Whatever it is that lights you up, is it standing outside, going for a walk with your dogs? Whatever it is, do more of that. If you're not doing that reignition, lighting yourself up, then you're going to go downhill. So keep that stuff, that whatever it lights you up, keep doing more of it. The next one I'm going to say is overwhelm. And this is clearly something that goes on into our heads. And overwhelm can be all the flowers. All the weeds. All I see is weeds. Overwhelm. There's so much to be done. I'm not going to get anywhere. And you get yourself into such a pickled, frazzled state. We all know those ones. You know, we've all gone to brain overwhelm. So the key is to brain dump everything. Get everything out of your head. Get everything. And that's your personal, that's your finances, that's your business ideas, that's all the things you need to do at home, all the things you need to do at work. Get everything out of your head. If you do not get it out, it's just going to have all and more weeds come into your head. When you get it all out, you're going to brain dump everything out. Then I'll be able to see the flowers. Once you have it all out, then you're going to prioritize it, and you're going to make sure they're realistic time frames. I say this constantly, realistic. Now, realistic to the best you can be, because we know sometimes my realistic is different to my partner's often, to my child, to anyway, sometimes my realistic expectations are different. That's okay. So it has to be your realistic expectations for your time frame. So prioritize everything, put them in a time frame that's realistic, and then action it, meaning do it, or delegate it. Do it or delegate it. It's your choice. Do, don't. Swipe left, swipe right, whatever it is for you. But make sure you get everything out of your head. And when you get those weeds out of your head, you're going to see so many more flowers. The next one I'm going to talk about is comparisons. And when you are comparing to somebody else, you are just going to go on a downhill spiral. You're not going to get out as healthy if you just constantly watch other people and watch what they're doing. And I didn't do that. And we both set a goal to lose this weight. We both set a goal to put so much money in the bank. And we both set a goal and you didn't do it. You're just going to put yourself into a spiral downhill. So focus on the flowers. Don't focus on the weeds. So all you're doing when you're looking at other people is you're actually looking at their flowers. You're not looking at their weeds. So have a look at their weeds. What weeds have they got? Just to give you a little bit of a glimpse. The other thing is, one of my favorite ones is the old, I'm just going to pull this out of here, the old 4 agreements. Now, who knows about the 4 agreements? And one of my favorite ones there is don't take things personally. Don't take things personally. Don't take things personally. Now, this can be a challenge for you, but when people say things to you, don't take it personally. When they don't say things to you, don't take it personally. When people accept you, don't accept you, they do things for you, they don't do things for you, don't take things personally. You do not know what is going on behind the scenes for those people. You do not know that's what's got them to that point of where they are now. We are all on this earth, this planet, whatever you want to call it in this world, to do the best we possibly can. We're not out here to be an a-hole and do these things, although sometimes it does pop into our head, but this is not, we're actually out here to fill our life and do the best we possibly can. And if people say, no, this doesn't work for me, accept that, but don't take it personally that they're rejecting you or they're saying no to you personally or anything. They're just saying no. Let them have their life. You're allowed to say no, they're allowed to say no. So don't take things personally. The next one is, it starts with G. And we all know what one of my favorite G words is, don't you say it, Trent, it's actually gratitude. And this is where we're looking at the flowers over the weeds. And we're looking at, I've got one heck of an itchy nose today. We are looking at what we have achieved over what we haven't achieved. Because when you have a list of things that you're going to get done today, and there's 10 things on the list, that's between 9 and 11 if you got my accent. 10 things on the list and you cross off 8 things. What do you look at? Do you look at the 8 things that are crossed off, or do you look at the 2 things you still have to do? So be grateful that you've got 2 things still to do on there. And be grateful at the 8 things you've crossed off. And be grateful that there's other things that are to go on that list that you didn't put on that list. Gratitude is the quickest and sharpest way to change your state. My old favorite, hand on the heart. Hand on the heart and breathe. Remind yourself that you live there. And this is a great one just to be aware of, oh, okay. And this can allow you to focus on your flowers over your weeds. So when you go out there, look around. See how many flowers you do see over the weeds. Look at your desk. See how many flowers you do see over your weeds. Start focusing on the flowers, because I guarantee 100% guarantee there's going to be a change in your mindset when you start focusing on the flowers over the weeds. And a reminder, this is one that I've talked about often, and this is to remind you that you have been in situations before and you've got yourself out of it. You can definitely get through whatever situation you've got going on right now. Absolutely, when you get your mind into that space. So a reminder that you've been through stuff before and that you're here living in the present and you can get through stuff now. And that's me, over and out. So that is Debz Cooper, Global Stressologist, sharing some wisdom on why you're focusing on your goals, why you're not focusing on your goals, why you're not focusing on your goals, why you're not focusing on your goals and how to get back up and running. Can't even say it. So if you like today, I would absolutely love you to go to the next step, and the next step is share it. Share it with those you care about, share it with those you don't care about, re-watch it, because I guarantee you'll pick up things the second time round and third. So let me know if you've got any questions, but if you really like this, the next step is to share it. If you got any questions, I welcome them. Thank you very much. I will see you next week when we talk about something else. Thanks so much. Debz Cooper, Global Stressologist, signing off. Thanks, Sharon and Trent, for commenting. Bye.